Hello, my name is Mojirola, and you can call me your personal growth buddy. Sometime in 2023 or 2022, I started an ID life series just from conversation I had with a friend. I was like, am I sure? Do I really want to do this? But my friend was like, let's do this, let's go. And this is 2025, and I'm doing my growth series conversation for 2025. And I'm like, you said that doing something for 2 years consistently, amazing. But this particular growth series conversation is themed subtle reminder, and it's just to nudge us to take a pause, reflect. I know life is lifing, adulthood is adulting, but this is just to have conversation with friends and just hear from them how they are able to navigate the everyday life of an adult in Nigeria. So this conversation is just me and my friends, and I mean the world to witness the amazing things that we are about to discuss. So I can officially say welcome to Growth Series Conversation 2025. Let's go. Hi guys, my name is Mojirola, and you can call me your personal growth buddy. And for the first guest we are having for the Growth Series Conversation, just to remind our introduction, I have an amazing, a delectable, super energetic guest. But before I mention who she is, like I said, I have amazing people and I have such great conversations with them. I'm like, okay, let me bring it to the people of the world to enjoy and experience this one with me. This conversation, like I said, is just for us to remember how to be human, how to just be childish again, right? Okay, now let me give you my guest. Drum roll. Drum roll. I call her superstar, but you can call her the most amazing brand storyteller ever. Impressive of Deborah Benjamin.
You know that song, if they no ginger, you ginger yourself.
If they don't clap for you.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here. Yeah, my name is Deborah Benjamin, like you said.
Yeah, so good.
Thank you.
So before we go into the cocoa of the oral, right, let me do something. You know, as children, we used to do tinko after round one. Oh yeah, do you remember how to play? What's this one?
I'm terrible with these things, so but let's see.
Try. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, you do like this. You do like this. Then 1,
okay, yeah.
2.
I can try. I promise you, I'll do well. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Is it 1, 2, 3? It's 1, 2.
1, 2.
1, 2, Deborah. 1, 2.
Sorry, Nami.
1, 2.
Then 1. Oh, it's like this.
1, 2.
Then
1. Okay. 1, 2. Then 2. 1, 2. Okay, I see.
1.
I do line stuff.
She not get it.
There I go. There I go. Okay, let's try it again.
Okay, 1, 2. Then 1, 2. 1.
Is it once or twice? I promise you guys, I'm terrible with these things.
Try it again.
Okay.
Alright, so let's now get into some serious.
Okay.
So I know that you are heavily invested in storytelling. But if I even go there, let me ask you, what is the one sentence, the one song that describes your life right now?
That is a deep question. What song describes my life right now?
Sentence that describes your life right now?
That's a very tricky one because I've heard so many things recent. I don't know which one. But I think it would be, I'm trying to remember how the line was said, but I think is this line from MI's song. It's a very funny one.
Okay.
Or it goes something like, maybe I'll say it in the way he sang it, like,
okay.
Oh, them be they look me like monkey,
okay.
but I think they look them like banana.
Oh.
I think that's the line.
Okay.
Yeah, for many reasons, but like the meaning of that song, or like what it means to me every time I hear it, is how, you know, the challenges are looking at you like, bro, like you're gonna die in this. Like there's no, how do I make it out of this? Like this is deep shit, right? But I'm looking at them like, oh, like all the great people that have gone before me, they have walked this crazy hard knock path and they've made it out. So I'm looking at my challenges like a banana while they are looking at me like a monkey, you know.
Interesting. So now I want to ask you, how has being the storyteller that you are actively doing, how has that journey been for you?
That question is supposed to be a simple question, but the answer will not be very simple for many reasons. So like, I mean, for a very long time, I've been calling myself the African storyteller. If you look at my Instagram videos, or when I'm introducing myself, I say, oh, hi, my name is Deborah Benjamin, and I'm an African storyteller. And of course, like that has manifested in my career, because I work in marketing and brand storytelling. But of recent, so I used to like have a job that was like an actual marketing role, but I recently left that job to go into another job that is in project management. So I started to like ask myself when I got that new job, that am I still an African storyteller? But it made me sort of like go back to the core of how it's not really about the title, it's not really about the role or the role you have at work, in quotes. It's about your personal mission. And yeah, storytelling will always be a core of how I express, a core of how I even like look at the work that I do, and sort of, I don't know, navigate my path as a working professional, as an individual, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's a little wild. It's wild. So you like 1 minute I have a job in a fintech startup, next minute I'm back in social enterprise that I've sort of like left at arm's length for years. Did you get what I mean? But I think that on the conversation of niche, especially because a lot of creators and a lot of builders will ask that question about how do I know where exactly I should be. I think it's a little, I'm finding that it's a little unrealistic, because as human beings, we do tend to have many interests. I mean, I can speak for myself that you guys, I'm into music. I write songs sometimes. I'm even though I've not released EP, I'm a worship team in church.
Yes.
I direct videos.
Interesting.
I actually have a sort of creative company. It's not gone live, but yeah, I help businesses with like identifying the strategies to connect authentically with their audience. What else do I really love art. I want to like manage artists. So sometime in life, I have like many interests. So I think for me it's confusing, because how do I then know how to channel my energy? Because you also need to be able to build staying power in a particular space and industry.
Exactly. You know, that staying power in a particular space and in an industry, that is the real question. Like how? So you said you moved from, let me use the official lingua. You transitioned from being into marketing and project management. What was that transition like for you, one? And why did you think that, okay, you know what, now I want to transition from this position to that position?
It's not a good story. Oh, well, like for some reason they had to leave my job. And the reason why it was a little tricky is because I already like set out to build a career in marketing. And like not by choice, I got into fintech startup space. And it was extremely difficult. You know, it was like I was having to start from scratch, learn on the job, cope with the very high pace of that industry. But I was still trying. I was going to make it work. I was going to stick to it and do whatever it took. But you know, I had to leave that job for many reasons that I will not be talking about today.
No problem.
But I think that for me, there was this video I made sometime. If you like story, if you don't mind hearing the story. So I made this video about 2 years ago where I was talking about the fact that I started my career really early, and like throughout my career I've sort of been in multiple industries. I've gone from social impact, I've worked with like non-profits and social enterprises, and then I got into like marketing, started working with creative companies, then I got into fintech startups. I don't even know how I don't even know how that happened though. In this very, very short career, span, right? And then I had to leave that space. But one thing I always tell myself is that it's not really about the title, like I said before. It's about staying true to my why, staying true to my personal mission, because that then like grounds me in whatever space I find myself. So yeah, I left this job, and then I didn't know where the other new job was going to come from. I mean, I was a little afraid of going into fintech immediately because of the stress and experience from the previous job. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to let God do his thing. And then this job came along. I mean, this job is not outrightly like just project management. It has to do with like all of the experiences I've had over the course of this, working in these multiple industries. Having to lead teams. I'm having to like multiple layered projects, manage multiple projects at the same time. I'm having to also do campaigns and do storytelling. So I feel like it's everything coming to play now. But it's still a tricky, because I'm still there. I just got the job like 2 months ago. So
when we talk about adulting and you have to do this as an adult, you have to do that. Like I'm like, why do we have to do so many things? Why can't we just wake up, eat, and and rinse and repeat? So talking about this concept of niche, I want to find my niche. This concept of I want to be sure that this is really what I want to do. But here you're talking about how that you have done this, you have done this some time. Sometimes, don't you think it will come across as you are confused, you don't know what you want to do, you're just everywhere. So how are you able to know that, you're not confused, you know what you're doing, and at the same time, the whole niche conversation? What's your take on that?
Very good question, because I'd like to ask you anything. I don't know.
I
still didn't figure it out. But that's a very good question, because it's a question I'm currently asking myself. And the way that I've been going about that is asking questions to myself, like just introspecting, watching videos, learning from the OG multi-potentialites. But one thing that I would say is
how that staying power. So how are you going to manage that staying power while still trying to give expression to
all of my other sides? So I think what I've been doing so far, because I like to be very honest, is that I've gone back to the drawing board to say, what are the core skills? I have a picture in my head of who I want to be, where I want to be in the next 5 years, or where I want to be in the next 10 years. So even though I cannot necessarily control where life takes me, the job I get, because you do need to chop, like you understand what I'm saying? So I think
you still need to do skincare.
Do you understand? Like you need to pay rent, you need to do all these other things. So I know that it can be very chaotic, right? So what I'm doing is I have this big picture in mind of where I want to be in 5 years and 10 years, and I've been able to identify the core skills or the core competencies that I need to acquire to become that person. So what I'm doing is, like, regardless of any job I find myself, I'm putting myself in a space where I'm actually actively acquiring those skills. Some of those skills I'm acquiring by leading a team at work. Some of those skills I'm acquiring by doing my own thing. Some of those skills, but it's towards the same end. Like there's an end in mind, and so everything, even though everything is like multi-dimensional, is still working towards the same goal, like helping me achieve that.
I like how the conversation is just progressing, and you yourself, you're using your hands to do yourself. Right?
Save me, Lord.
Talking about how mentioned goal, right, and goal setting. So this year, yes, one goal. I know what I want to eventually become, what I eventually want to do. Right, but you see the in between from where I am to that place. Oh my God, I've changed my goals.
Too real.
I'm like, no, we can't do this. So a friend of mine told me, like, Moji, in all honesty, when she told me, I was angry, because I'm like, girl, you don't even know the things I'm buying right now, right? But she was like, Moji, are you sure this is what you want to do now? Because I had given her the same idea, I think like 3 times. I said, and she's like, Moji, are you sure this is the final one? You know when you have final project. You have final project. So when you talk about goal setting, when you talk about one direction, one aspect of your life and all, how are you able to set goals and, like say, stick to it?
That's a deep question, and I'm going to tell you why. I think the reason why that's a deep question is because for the longest time, I've held the award as the master goal setter. I'm always setting goals. Like I've learned really early on in my life and career that, oh, you need to set goals, you need to know where you're going in life. But the truth is, like, I don't think for me the conversation right now is about goals, because there are so many of them piling up in my notepads, and I've been zeroing in on
it entered.
indeed.
I like how you said it's not about goals. Say it again, let's hear it.
Now I have to pretend I
Anybody can set goals. I mean, people set goals all the time, and I've been setting goals for all of my life. And one thing that I'm learning to really do, what I'm zeroing in on now, is execution. And it started by me coming to the point of recognizing that I need help in the area of execution. I've been struggling with that, and I know that the only way to really find out if your goals mean anything, or if your goals were the right one in the first place, is to really act and get on the field and do what you have to do. Yes.
Amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so I want to get even more personal. So, what part of your journey have you felt like you were not being truthful to yourself?
This do be feeling like therapy right now. But what part of my life do I think I'm not being truthful to myself?
And how are you able to recover or retrace your steps?
Well, I don't even know how to put this because I'm not told this story, so I'm trying to. I've never told.
You're about to receive an exclusive.
So, I'm trying to. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, that one. Which one? But I mean, maybe I will not say
so many.
Well, not like there's so many, but like this particular one, I'm trying not to tell it. So I'm trying to see that I'm not.
Tell me.
Yeah, maybe I will not tell you the details, but how do I say this without telling the details? But yeah, I think one aspect of my life that how I've always known that I'm not the one to follow typical systems and typical timelines. And I remember that when I got out of secondary school, I decided I was not going to write JAMB and write HTML like every other still. Even though it wasn't like fail, I would fail. It was just I'm not ready. I don't even know why, like if I should go to university. So I took a gap year and like I volunteered. I started my journey by myself. Like I just told my parents I'm not ready to write JAMB. Well, like my craze has been coming, it was a long time for me. Yeah, like a long time for my master, you understand. So I took a gap year, like I started to volunteer, launched my own NGO. But eventually I didn't really think it through. I was just like, yeah, so like after this, what's next? Like, is it not university? Like that's what everybody expects of you. So I just gave in, wrote JAMB, wrote CTME, and got into university. And then actually before that, I remember somebody asking me one time, one of my mentors, he asked me that, Deborah, why do you want to go into university? And now that I think about it, I think the person was asking because they know me and they know how very untypical I am and how like the normal system may not necessarily be like I need to be able to think through and know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know if that's the right space for me, but I did not think it through. And I went to do it and like it was just hell, like we don't want to get into the details. But I feel like I've been able to retrace my steps because I did sit back
myself, why am I doing this? Why is this so difficult? And I found the answer, but I don't tell you. You have to pay me money.
I mean, you took us all through that journey. Now
buy my book or whatever, or pay me money.
Yes, an author. I have an author.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's quickly wrap this up. What propaganda are you not falling for?
The propaganda that I'm not falling for, I mean, that's easy, is that you can't do everything or you can't have it all. And like I feel like that's something that they tell especially women to keep them in that space. So like you need to choose one. But I genuinely I don't believe it. Like, I mean, this is in two ways. In the way of you can be a multi-potentialite, you have the ability to express yourself in different ways and to be great at all of those things. And as a woman, because I'm a woman, I think that you actually can have it all if you stay true to why you want to have it all in the first place.
So if you were to tell your future self and your younger self something, what would it be?
I like to be very honest with questions like this. So if I were to tell my younger self, that's a deep question. It's getting to me. So I'll tell my younger self.
Yeah.
I'll ask my younger self. Well, you guys, this thing is not funny, but ask my younger self why she listened to them. I don't know. I won't get into all that.
No, you will get into it.
I mean, that's what I'll ask my younger self, why she listened to them, because I think that I kind of like know very early on who I wanted to be. You know how like when you're a child, you have dreams and you have goals, and then all of a sudden you start to hear things from like society. They start to tell you what is right, what is wrong, and at some point you get like, especially when you now become an adult, you're like, oh, I'm not getting younger. I need to actually think about my life, and then you allow them bully you out of your dreams, and then you just start to follow the status quo and all of that. And I can't lie that at some point I've not, fallen for some of that propaganda. So I'll tell my younger self, why did you listen? Maybe if you were obstinate and what's that word? Rebellious to the end, you would be in that rebellion. Would have been in that place by now.
What would you tell your future self?
What will I tell my future self? I think now I'm just like now seeing that you can't necessarily stop all the challenges that will come at you, and I'm learning to really value like resilience and stay true to the process, stay true to the journey. So I'll tell my future self to keep going, really keep building. It doesn't make sense right now. So many things are just turning on their own, you understand? But I promise you that it would make sense in the end. So just keep going. That's what I'll tell my future self.
I just actually remember that I didn't mention that Deborah has actually been on one of the Growth Series conversations.
Yeah, she loves me.
So this is the second time having her, and I am super excited.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I love this.
We
should have.
You're gonna make me cry. All right.
Thank you so much.
So, I just had an amazing conversation with Nigeria's best storyteller, Deborah, and I just remember, or it just reminds me of how that it's okay to do things, as many times as you want to. So far, you're giving expression to yourself, and it will all make sense in the end. You don't have to have it. You don't have to have it all figured out all at once, and I think that's the whole concept of being an adult, one day at a time. So, who is going to be my next guest? I can't wait to do that. See you in the next video.